Alright, I'm going to get right into this. Usually when you see a Smackdown as of late, you see the most eye-opening openers that you have ever seen. Something that definitely keeps you on your toes. I didn't really believe that starting off at the beginning of this Smackdown for November 23rd. Um, when I actually saw Mark Henry come out and, and complain and whine and talk about what happened at Survivor Series and what the Big Show did to him, key word here is foreshadowing. And I mean foreshadowing. Honestly, when you actually hear a wrestler talk that way, you automatically know that this wrestler's belt, the days that they actually are champion are starting to run low. Like their dates are numbered. Whether or not they're going to lose on a pay-per-view or they're not going to lose it that night, you have no idea. After the confrontation with the Big Show, who would have ever thought that the Big Show would completely knock him out? And here comes Daniel Bryan running all the way down to the ring to cash his Money in the Bank. Cashed it in, got the belt, only to lose it 5 seconds later when Teddy Long took it back, saying that Mark Henry was not fit for duty, so he wasn't on the roster, which means that it wasn't a real match, which means that he is not a champion. I really do believe that Daniel Bryan is the first wrestler in history to have an unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash in. I mean, even though he got his Money in the Bank back, even though he got the briefcase back, he still goes in history to actually having an unsuccessful attempt. So, even though that was kind of funny, it was kind of bad to see that Daniel Bryan actually had a taste of championship gold, only to have it taken away from him 5 seconds later. Moving on from there, the first official match of the night was Hunico versus Justin Gabriel. I liked Hunico's fusion style of brawler and meets high flyer. I actually liked that fusion of styles. The only thing is, for this match tonight, he decided to lean towards more of the brawler side than the fusion that he had with high flyer and brawler. And it really made the match slow, in my opinion. And I think you kind of notice that as times go on, like right in the middle, from the beginning to the middle, it was really slow. But then it started to pick up his pace when he started to incorporate his high flying style as well as his brawler style, and it kind of met with Justin Gabriel's high flying style. So it wasn't like, watching syrup come down the wall. Like literally, it was that slow. But it did pick up its pace in the end, and it wasn't a bad match. I actually did like it a little. So it wasn't totally bad. Moving on from there, there was a little backstage moment between Zack Ryder and Sheamus. I actually do believe that Sheamus is not going to be a babyface for long. He may be a monster face or an I don't really see him as an anti-hero, but I see him more as a monster face. But I really don't think that he's going to be a babyface for long. It's just so much foreshadowing there. It's just the way that he has a straight face, and all of a sudden he's like, just kidding, fella. You kind of can tell that Sheamus is not going to be a babyface for long, especially the fact he scared the crap out of Zack Ryder. But they did have a successful match. I really do like Sheamus and Zack Ryder as a tag team. If they ever decide to be, in a tag team together, I think that they will actually be great tag team partners. But Sheamus is kind of above Zack Ryder, and since he actually held championship gold, it'll be beneath him to be a tag team title holder. But Zack Ryder, all in all, this definitely should prove to everybody that he deserves to have a U.S. title shot. And it was them versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. I still believe that the U.S. title is definitely holding Dolph Ziggler back. I'm actually wishing that the match does happen and Zack Ryder actually does hold the U.S. championship, because Dolph Ziggler really needs to go beyond that, and he's just been stuck with that U.S. title, and he really needs to go further. He won't go further with Vicky Guerrero because he really does not need her, and he won't go further being stuck with the U.S. title. He needs to lose it, so I'm really hoping that they actually do have the match with Zack Ryder or Mason Ryan, but I honestly see Mason Ryan more as an IC champion than a U.S. champion, but that's just me. Anyway, Moving on from there was the Divas match between Natalya and AJ. Good grief. Why? Like, AJ is a waif. And Natalya could break her in half, which is what she did. It only took, 5 seconds for her to win the match. The one thing I can say about Natalya is I like the fact that she got rid of the black and pink and decided to go green and like go into like a different color that fits her heel persona. So I really am liking the new, the new wardrobe change and the new field and attitude change of her character, as well as Beth Phoenix. Even though Alicia Fox's attempt to save her friend AJ was really stupid. Leave my friend alone. Whoa, back off. Oh my gosh, it's Alicia Fox. Really? They could clock her and take her out with 5 seconds. That was the most unbelievable moment I've ever seen in my life. They shouldn't even had her there. But moving on from there, Ted DiBiase versus Heath Slater. I really don't think that Heath Slater was the perfect opponent for Ted DiBiase. I know that they both need to have airtime, and even though Heath Slater has a ton of potential to possibly be maybe a U.S. title holder after a couple of matches, I really don't think that he was in the same caliber as Ted DiBiase. He's just not getting pushed enough being a face. I really wish that he'll go back heel again. Being not so much as a heel as like a crazy heel like Cody Rhodes is being, an arrogant one. It always worked. He got more airtime when he was an arrogant heel, and I really wish he goes back to being arrogant heel. But unfortunately, he is not getting the matches that he deserves. But at least he won this match, and maybe is going to, I guess, kind of push him towards maybe holding the U.S. title, possibly Intercontinental. I'm hoping Intercontinental after winning this match. Maybe. I don't know. But the match wasn't all that bad. I actually liked it. Heath Slater is a great performer, as well as Ted DiBiase. It was a great match. I actually liked it a lot. Moving on from there, there was a backstage moment that I enjoyed. That was my moment of the night, and that was with Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes had the perfect heel moment when he expressed his feelings towards Booker T. He said, I didn't splash in the face of the 6-time WWE champion or a former King of the Ring, winner of the King of the Ring. I splashed water in the face of a lowly commentator. That is probably one of the best heel lines of the year, in my opinion. Because honestly, Cody Rhodes nailed it. That guy oozes natural charisma. That is why he's in my Fave 5. Man, if only he had more people to... If only he had better opponents for his U.S. title and he actually was able to defend it more. That will bring him out so much more. But instead, he was in a fatal 4-way tonight. Now, like I said, the key word of tonight was foreshadowing. When you see that fatal 4 match, you can automatically predict who's going to win. Number one, Randy Orton, okay, even though Randy Orton has held the belt, even though he shouldn't have been in the match in the first place, he's been putting over Wade Barrett not once, but twice. So having him win will completely be stupid because that makes Wade Barrett look dumb, and that will pretty much put him under and kind of mess him up a little bit career-wise. Number 2, Cody Rhodes is holding one of the major belts of the company. It doesn't really make any sense for him to actually win because he's an IC championship holder. So it wouldn't make any sense for him to actually hold 2 major title belts. So I knew he wasn't going to win. I actually thought Wade Barrett was going to win because Wade Barrett has had such a great push as of late from Randy Orton. So, I was kind of sort of shocked to see him not win, but then kind of sort of expecting Daniel Bryan to win. And Daniel Bryan did win after his unsuccessful attempt and his ties towards the feud between the Big Show and Mark Henry. Yeah, you kind of knew that he was going to win this match. Whether or not he is going to win the actual championship match is in a steel cage next Tuesday. That's going to be on a live Smackdown show with Mick Foley hosting. I'm really not seeing it. I'm not seeing him winning. I actually do see him as an interference in the championship match at TLC. but I don't see him as winning. As for Jinder Mahal, now going back to Ted DiBiase, I really did not expect Jinder Mahal to be involved, and honestly, it's not doing anything for his career. It's not doing anything for Ted DiBiase's career. So in a way, having Jinder Mahal involved at all is a stalemate, in my opinion. The point is moot because, like I said, Jinder Mahal has absolutely no in-ring skills. He's great on the mic. He has great charisma, but he has no in-ring skills, and they need to fix that first before actually involving him in any feud. But instead, they're making him the stereotypical Arabian guy, speaking whatever language that he speaks, speaking Hindu every time he comes out. They're making him a stereotypical Indian guy. My bad, not Arabian. But he really doesn't have anything going for him except for that whole, exotic persona. That exotic appeal. That's the only thing that he has going for him. But all in all, SmackDown really never disappoints. It always has really great matches that keeps you on your toes, and the openings as of late has definitely, has definitely kept you watching. So I have to give it a B+ for the night, and the reason why I'm giving it a B+ for the night is because the predictability. There was just so many matches that you could just predict just by watching them. And in my opinion, for me, coming back from old school days where you really never predicted a match, you just really never knew it was going to go. You always thought it was going to go one way, but you always proven wrong. You can really predict the match. Every single match that went on, it was just too predictable. So that's why I'm giving it a P+ for the night. It's still a good score. It's still a good letter grade. A B+ is still considered an A. It's just not totally an A. It's kind of getting there. But all in all, it was a great SmackDown. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. I will see you next week on the live Tuesday show on SmackDown. Peace out, y'all. Happy Turkey Day.